Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am currently in a different room right now because my brothers are being loud and obnoxious and yelling because they're playing video games, and unfortunately you wouldn't be able to hear that. So I'm here, don't mind the messy background. It is very early in the morning, so I wanted to make a lighthearted video. I like luxury things, I like nice things, I like bougie things. I don't really talk about it that much on this channel. I do occasionally from time to time, but this is not what like my main content is about, especially because I can't afford to like upkeep that type of lifestyle right now because I'm a broke college student with no job. But there are things that I want, things that piqued my interest, and I did one last year, and I did a video where I went back and kind of like bashed or like just kind of looked at what had changed and what my thoughts were on certain things, and you know, definitely see like what influenced me last year and how I feel about it now, or if I'm influenced now. So I wanted to do that again this year because I like different things, and maybe next year I'll look back and be like, girl, you got that, you love that, or girl, like what were you thinking? I want to say these are things that have kind of stayed on my wish list for a while now. There are some repeats from last year's wish list, which is a good sign, meaning that it is something that I genuinely like and it's not something that I'm being influenced on. And it's just kind of fun to do. Like, I could have done this with makeup, but I don't have like a passion for makeup like that where I am constantly obsessing over something. Plus, I think makeup would be a lot easier to obtain because it's not like hundreds and thousands of dollars. Gonna scooch to the side so I can put up a picture of the item that I'm talking about so you guys can see the beautifulness or be like, oh girl, you like that? Alright, so the first thing that I still stand strong on based on what I said last year is I still want the Chanel Classic Flap in black and gold hardware in caviar. That is going to be my, I don't know, like if I get wet, like when I get married and go on a honeymoon, and if I go to Paris, like that's what I'm gonna get. If I don't know, like that type of situation. I want it to be like something special. When I get that bag, I want that bag to have like a special like memory attached to it, and I still want it. It is something that I definitely want in my lifetime, and I think this is something that is going to always stay on my wish list. But I definitely have changed like opinions on the sizing just because I've never like tried it on personally. I'm too scared to go into a Chanel store and like have them laugh at me because they know I can't afford it and they don't want to waste their time on me. But that is gonna be the first thing on my wish list, and yeah, one day guys, one day in the future,
she shall be mine.
The only other Chanel thing I have on my wish list, which is kind of more youthful, it is the trendy with like top handle bag. And I'm gonna show you because I think there's like different shapes, but I definitely want like the more like the square shape one than like the weird, like, I don't know, there's different shapes. I'm popping up a picture of the one that I want. I definitely want it in a lighter color, whether that be like light pink or a beige or like a light gray. I definitely want a lighter color, especially because, you know, I tend to reach right now more for like I don't know, I like lighter colors. I feel like they go more with outfits and it's less stark than like black and gold, and I already have like black and gold bags. I don't know, I just want it in a lighter color. That's the only other Chanel thing, because again, Chanel's very pricey and I wouldn't be able to just hand that money over easily as it is. But that would be another Chanel bag that I want, but that one, like if I had the money I would buy it. Not necessarily like a special occasion type of bag or like a special reason to purchase this bag. Yes. I have definitely become more of a Dior girl in the last year. I have one bag specifically that I want, and I want a Lady Dior also in a light color, whether that be like a pink or a gray. I want it in a pink or a gray. I don't know. I just think certain bags that I want in darker colors, like the Classic Flap and the Lady Dior, I definitely want it in a lighter color. I like the openness of it. I usually like stuff my bags quite a bit, and I might not always close it all the way, and like people yell at me for it, but like I just like the easy access. And I know like people might think, but Renee, like you might get things stolen or pickpocketed. Like no, even with my bag open, like no one's getting in my bag. Like it is like right in front of me. They would have to do something inappropriate, and they wouldn't do that before getting kicked somewhere that they don't want to get kicked in order to get something out of my bag. I want it. It is a little bit up there, not as much as like Chanel bags, but Dior is pricey. I love Dior. Like their style, like they're girly, but like not like totally like frilly princessy girly, is quite up my alley. I kind of say Dior might be a little bit more of a favorite for me than Chanel. And I think that's just because like their clothing tends to be a little bit more youthful in my category. Or like my style, like even like the ready to wear. I'm not talking about like the tweed blazer from Chanel, but there are like obviously like some classic things I want from Chanel, but I have to say that Dior is definitely my favorite brand, even though I only have like one thing right now. But that's just because like, you know, this is kind of like my realistic, like real wish list of things that I want, not just like, oh, if I could have it, I'd get it. Okay, moving on. We're moving into an Italian brand, Fendi. Now, I have to say, out of the Italian brands, which is really just like Fendi and Gucci, like the main ones that come to mind, I have to say Fendi is a little bit more of my favorite brand than Gucci. I feel like Gucci is really out there, really edgy, and that's not quite me. Not quite my aesthetic, even though there is like one Gucci item on here, and then, you know, whatever. But I really want the Fendi like classic logo print, like black and brown shirt, like the short sleeve shirt. I think I want the shirt more, but I saw Lydia Elise Millen's, like I was looking through her vlogs and she was wearing like the skirt, and I just think the skirt is definitely something that is timeless, like a timeless winter piece. So I kind of also want the skirt in just like the logo print, like just like a mini skirt type of situation. But I do really love the shirt itself, and that's the one that I would probably get first if I could over the skirt. But I just love the shirt. I think like it's something I'd be able to wear more often than the skirt itself, but I think the skirt does have a little bit more of like a fancy Christmassy like holiday vibe, and the shirt, like you could really wear it all year long. But the shirt is $900, so yeah, it's $900 and I don't have $900, just bleh. $900 to spend, and there is something of my wish list that is also $900 that I would get before the shirt. But the Fendi logo top, something that I want, and I think that's something that is classic. Like you can wear it like on its own, or like throw a blazer over it, and you know, make it again like seasonally appropriate. And I just feel like the Fendi logo is like so classic. I'm not a fan of like the Carl calligraphy. It's like a play on calligraphy and Carl. I don't like that Fendi print. I don't know if it's going to be changing to that print. I just think that the classic like one, like the F's, the interlocking F's, is my favorite print from them specifically. A repeat from last year's wish list that I still want is the YSL Lulu toy bag in a pinky nude shade with the silver hardware. I think that is something that my boyfriend and I have specifically like kind of negotiated for my graduation present when I graduate college in a year from now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, if everything works out the way that it needs to work out, I want it. Hopefully I can get it as a graduation present. You know, it is a year from now and we'll see what happens, because we don't know where lives are gonna be heading. But I think it'd be like a great like graduation present, because it is small and I am short. I am 5'1.5". I'm even sitting on a pillow right now to like give myself a little bit of a boost. But it is something, I don't know, I just feel like I have to have it. Like I feel like it's more my style. YSL is kind of like, or I'm sorry, Saint Laurent is something that is like, she's like steady. She's always like there. She's not like up and trendy and she's not forgotten about. She's just like the reliable friend, the one that you can always go to and like will be there for your needs. That's what I think when I think about YSL, or sorry, Saint Laurent, and that's what I see in that bag. I feel like you can dress it up, dress it down, and it'd be perfect for like everyday life, like a bag that I wouldn't be afraid to use every day, especially as like hopefully one day I get into like the luxury stuff. Like I won't be treating things like a baby because we only have one life, might as well enjoy it. Second to last bit, I want a pair of shoes. Are we shocked? But they're Jimmy Choos. I know. A bunch of like Jimmy Choo pairs that I want. There is this one pair of like bridal like pearl shoes that I want. There is like the patent leather with like the little crystals, and I think those are the ones, like the mules. And those are the ones that I would realistically get if I could first over like the bridal pearl ones. But I think the bridal ones are like really pretty. And honestly, my bridal shoes are probably going to be Jimmy Choos. I'm just saying. Like, just putting that out there. Like, manifesting it. But I want a pair of Jimmy Choos. Do I wear heels right now? No, but maybe as a career woman I will, and there you go. Last but not least, the last thing on my wish list is the Gucci Marmont bucket bag. I said there was one Gucci item, and I'm not a big fan of like the Marmont bag that everyone has slash had when it was very trendy, but there's just something about the bucket bag. I want a bucket bag, and I was debating whether like this one or the Prada one, but the Prada one is like almost $2,000 and the Gucci one is right under $1,000. So realistically, because this is more of a realistic wish list, but not realistic in the sense because I don't have a job, you know, and I have to kind of like pay off student loans also, you know. But like it's just so cute. I just feel like it's very youthful. I'd want it in the shade white, more summery, more light, especially because currently I feel, I don't know, I say currently, I think I do have a lot of like lighter bags, and I have a couple of darker ones, but I just reach more for lighter bags. So I feel like the white one would kind of be like a timeless, because like bucket bags have always kind of been in, they've been coming back, they've been like in style before, so like a bucket bag is kind of a good investment to make. The Gucci, since it has like the GGs that like were really trendy, but it's still like very heavy in the Gucci branding, I don't know if that necessarily might be like the best choice to make, but I like how it's like over the shoulder crossbody one, while the Prada one is just literally like a top handle type of situation. And personally, I think that the long chain would be better for me, and what I like when I use bags, just knowing myself, I always go for a crossbody moment than like one that you can hold, even though I have like a bag that you can hold, and even then like rarely actually hold it. Like it has a strap and I use the strap. That's the second reason why I really went for the Gucci one over the Prada one, even though like I feel like the Prada one would be like the one that's, you know, kind of always around and can use it for years and years and years. But I kind of want the Gucci one because I just feel like where I'm at now, that's makes more sense. And it's just very youthful looking, and I don't know, you don't want bags to age you. Like, you're already aging. No one likes the aging process. And I feel like some bags can make you look older, and that's not what I'm trying to do, even though I'm 24. But I'm a denier. I'm gonna be one of those people that like turns 29 like 3 times. And I'm just keeping it real here, okay? That's gonna be me. But that is everything that is on my current realistic luxury wish list. There are other things that come and go, but I want to say these are like the staple ones that have kind of stayed the same for a while now. Like there's some stuff that like have been on this wish list for a year, and even like I've had like other lists and a lot of these items have still been on it, but I'm just like publicly updating you guys. Like the Lady Dior bag, like that's something that I forgot to include in my last wish list, but that's something that I still want. Around last year I wanted Manolo Blancs, even though again this is Sex in the City and Lydia Lee Smillan had the Manolo Blanc flats that like Carrie Bradshaw had, and I really wanted Manolo Blancs. My cousin, my older cousin, had has Manolo Blahniks, and so I was a little bit more influenced by them in that sense and like that type of style of shoe. But I think a year later, as I've like figured out what I like a little bit more, I have moved more towards like Jimmy Choo's, because I feel like Jimmy Choo's are much more youthful looking in comparison to Manolos, you know. And I know this isn't like my type of like videos, but you know, we all need to mix up our content every once in a while, especially if we're all just sitting at home, and you know, sometimes the same video can get boring over and over. So why not do the other thing that brings me joy, even though I can't actually physically get it right now, which is the luxury community. But yeah, I think that's everything on my realistic wish list. There used to be like the Hermes no, not the Birkin, the Hermes Kelly, and like a Chanel or like a Dior brooch, blah blah blah, like more like jewelry. The love ring, the love bracelet, but that's not quite like, if I had the money I would realistically buy that. This is. But I hope this has distracted you from boredom, or maybe it has like give you like a realization that I need a reality check. I don't know. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see you guys on my next one.